Game with Milko here, bringing you another Clash Royale video. And this is going to be a deck spotlight video, guys, from our low level deck. Now this deck works from every arena, from Arena 2 all the way up to Legendary Arena. That's how good and versatile this deck actually is. So guys, before we go any further, do me a big favour and smash that like button. Let's see if we can get 40 likes on this video. And if you've not already done so as well, do me an even bigger favour and hit that subscribe button. So guys, let's have a look at the deck that we have been using. So guys, that's right, it is the low level Balloon Giant deck. So this deck consists of the Balloon, the Giants, the Spear Goblins, the Valkyrie, the Fireball, the Goblins, the Giant himself, the Musketeer, and the Baby Dragon. And don't get me wrong guys, this is on my low level free-to-play account. But as you can see, this deck is absolutely amazing. Obviously, in general, I am playing against a lot of lower level and slightly inexperienced players. But as you can see, this deck has probably gone close to 15, 20 deck battles without actually losing. A lot of that possibly is because of the low level of it that people are actually playing. But that's not obviously the only reason. So guys, let's get into the very first replay. And at the end, we're going to do a live attack as well, though I'm not the best at commentating live attacks. So as we haven't got the Giant to start with, when we start our push, we're going to be starting with the Baby Dragon in the back. As you can see, our opponent drops down his Baby Dragon and the Valkyrie, so I drop down my Baby Dragon and the distraction as well, and then I drop down those Spear Goblins just to help on cleanup. Now, as I know we're going to take all down these troops, I then drop my Giant down, and I know we're going to be supporting that with all these troops. So I drop down my Goblins to assist. Now, unfortunately, that Skeleton Army doing a good job of helping defend, but not before we get onto that tower and start to absolutely destroy it. We're not going to quite finish that tower off here, but we do get it down to 186 HP at this point. And we do have the elixir advantage as well. So as soon as our elixir build up, we're going to start with the Valkyrie push at the back. Excuse me. So when you don't have the Giant in the deck, the Valkyrie is a very nice tanky troop. As you can see, he dropped his bomb tower down in a very poor position, so it's quite simple. We're going to drop down our Dragon to take out that bomb tower. And then we're going to drop down these Spear Goblins to help assist taking out the Baby Dragon. No, we're not actually going to drop the Musketeer instead. My mistake. Our opponent does drop his own Valkyrie down, which is going to start doing some serious work to our Musketeer. But our tower and Baby Dragon are going to help take that down. So our Musketeer is going to get off a few shots at this tower and nearly take it down. But that's going to be taken down by both the Giant and the Spear Goblins. Our opponent again drops down that Skeleton Army, but we drop down the Valkyrie on its head, and those skeletons just go bye-bye. Obviously our opponent does use those arrows to take down our Goblins, but at this point our opponent doesn't really have much of a counter to us. He's losing the elixir race, he's lost one tower, and we've already damaged his King Tower as well. So again, we're just going to let our elixir build back up at this point before we start our final push down this left-hand side. So our opponent decides to drop the Baby Dragon and the Giant, so we drop our Baby Dragon, and then we drop the Musketeer. I'm going to drop down my Spear Goblins to assist, so I'm going to drop them in the back. And then I'm going to drop the Valkyrie on top of all those Skeleton Armies heads, and then it's going to have to destroy it. We're going to drop the Giant up front, but obviously we're going to have our own Baby Dragon and Valkyrie to take it out. At this point, we're just going to keep dropping troops now, so down goes our second Baby Dragon and our second Musketeer. And at this point, our opponent knows it's game over. 2 Dragons, 2 Musketeers, that Giant, and all those Spear Goblins are just going to absolutely destroy that tower. And there it goes for a very solid 3-0 victory. Obviously we are in the lower levels guys, so obviously our opponents aren't necessarily quite as experienced as us, but nonetheless they are the same level as us, and this deck does work all the way up. So we're just going to have a look at one more replay, and then we're obviously going to do a live attack as well and see how we do. Now I've not lost on this account yet, so fingers crossed we're not going to change that. Now I've said that, I've probably gone and jinxed it, but we will have to wait and see. Obviously our opponent is only level 2. But he is obviously on slightly higher trophies than us, obviously, as this is our new free-to-play account. The opponent does drop down that Prince, so I drop down my Goblins as a distraction. Next goes down the Baby Dragon to help take out that Prince, and then onto that Witch. So I'm going to drop the Musketeer in back just as support. Now we're going to use the baby dragon to take out those minions and those spear goblins, and we're going to have a massive push onto this tower. Our opponent does drop down that bomber, but unfortunately he's not going to be able to stop the devastation of the tower at this point. Plus we've got the baby dragon and the giant Musketeer and spear goblins starting to go to work on the tower. I do drop my Valkyrie, unfortunately. He wasn't able to get in front of the Musketeer in time. So that Valkyrie is going to start to do some serious work to that tower, getting it down to just over 600 HP. Obviously our opponent isn't very happy about how this battle's going, and I can't blame him, but it's just one of those things. At the end of the day, I'm an experienced player, and our opponent's cards, even though the same level as ours, obviously he's not as experienced as using them as us. So I'm dropping my baby dragon. I'm not too worried, so I'm going to drop down my balloon, knowing he hasn't really got too much of a counter to the balloon. And there it goes, it's going to go in. It drops the minions way too late. The balloon takes out the tower for a solid 3-0 victory. So we're just going to do one more quick live attack, guys, and see how we actually do. Like I said before, we've never actually lost on this deck, on this account yet, but there is always a first time. And knowing my luck, it will be on this live attack. So let's have a look. We are taking on Yuri VR from Wilhelm. Good luck. Well, let's wish our opponent good luck and give him a thumbs up as well. Obviously, we haven't got the giant, so we're going to be dropping the Valkyrie in the back here. And we're going to see what our opponent does to counter. Now, he uses the rocket followed by the mini pecker. So I'm going to drop down the spear goblins behind. There we go. So we're going to take out that. There we go. I'm going to drop down our giant in front. And I'm going to drop down our baby dragon for support. Our opponent does have his own baby dragon, which we thought he may. But we are going to be able to take it down relatively quickly with our own baby dragon and spear goblin. So our giant and Valkyrie are working against that tower, as well as the baby dragon. And that first tower is going to be absolutely destroyed. We're going to drop now the Musketeer in the back. They're going to drop the Valkyrie just as a bit of support. At this point, it looks like our opponent has just about given up. He's dropped the cannon in the corner. That's not really going to be able to do anything. Spear goblins down just in case. But not before that tower goes down for another 3-0 victory. Good game. Well played to our opponent. Obviously, we just knew what we were doing more than our opponent there. It's just one of those things. So guys, that's the deck. And like I said, this deck works at all levels. This deck works all the way up to Arena 9. Believe me, it is simply fantastic. That consists of the balloon, the spear goblins, the Valkyrie, the fireball, the goblins, the giant himself, the lovely Musketeer, and the baby dragon. So guys, that's it from me. If you like what you see, comment below, let me know. If you've not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you gamers next time. Take care.